my channel. Welcome. I didn't even know I was getting recorded today, but I guess I am. I started editing a video where I'm in a classroom and I'm explaining, like, I'm substitute teaching now, and I'm going over like my thought patterns, how I'm trying to change them from the negative space to the positive space, and taking action and doing things that are scary to me, like making new friends here, establishing a sense of community, a tribe, what have you. I've been trying to do that. A week ago, I tried to go make friends. I might have discussed this before on the channel, but I'm not really sure. I found a Facebook group, like for a walking group in my area. When I initially signed up, I got a message from one of the ladies in the group, and she said, oh, welcome to the group. My name is so-and-so, and here's my phone number. And I was just thinking, okay, she's the liaison that I talk to in order to, establish myself in the group maybe, or like she'll like help guide me or whatever on how to meet up with these people at the park, because I'm like a little anxious. Did I mention? Yeah, okay, it's in the title. Gotcha. So yeah, I went and I texted her, and then I went and I texted her once I got there, and I didn't get a response. So your girl was like, oh, I was kind of like let down because, ooh, y'all hear that bacon? Ooh, I'm getting so hungry. I was kind of let down because I was excited to, find a new group to hang out with, and especially if it's an active group, a group where they're, going for walks, going for hikes maybe. I was really excited about that. But since she didn't respond and I didn't hear from her, I decided I would just walk around the park anyway, because like, be brave and get out of this car. Walking, I was thinking, oh, at some point she'll text me or call me, and then I'll be able to link up with the group. But that never happened. So I walked around the park thing for like 3 rounds, and then I said, that's good enough. I'm going home. And then I messaged in the group that, I was there, and I, maybe like a few minutes late. I was like 6 minutes late. I guess they move on time. Down here, they move on time. So your girl kind of doesn't. Yeah, I didn't get to meet them, but they did sound like, next time just like text in the group, and let us know you're coming. So I'll do that. One of the ladies said, text inside the group when I send a message in the Facebook group. What do you call that? Facebook Messenger group? Yeah. She said, yeah, just tell us next time in the chat. And I'm like, oh, okay. So today's Monday. Yeah. Am I going again? No. No. I gave it one go last week, and that Kristen from last week was like, yeah, I want to meet people. Yeah. Today is Kristen, and this moment, Kristen, she's like, nah, we tried that last week. Maybe next week, though. Thanks for asking, but no. So that's cool. But she might change her mind when, 6 o'clock rolls around. I think they walk at 6. So she might change her mind, but I doubt it. I really do. I really doubt it. Right now, today's Kristen is making a turkey bacon BST. So instead of lettuce, I got spinach. Yeah, I just wanted to share that I tried something new. And I'm still happy that I went for the walk. Like, I'll never regret a walk outside. It was beautiful out. The sun was out. There were like lots of trees, and just like being around people, like seeing people live their lives. Seeing them just people around, and I like being in places like that and hearing different snippets of conversation. And there was one old couple that was asking me like how many miles had I walked, and you got in a little banter that way with people that you don't know. Sometimes that can happen. So that's always nice, I guess, to be, I don't know, at the park. The people still go to parks, you guys. People still get out of the house. People still get offline. And I like doing that. I find it fun, you know, sometimes to get out of the house and just be out in a space. Usually a space that makes me happy, which is these days is the park. It used to be Target. And those of you who it still is, I understand, because they got Starbucks. You get a cart, you push it around, you buy things, you know, and they have nice things. But the park is starting to be my spot, because I don't know, it's like an energy. Once you leave, you just kind of feel refreshed, kind of, you know, especially if you've walked. If you walk and, you know, you get outside yourself, walk, think, listen to music, read a book. Let me see what I'm supposed to be talking about today, because I'm starting to write, not scripts, don't think this is scripted at all, but just like thoughts, especially as pertaining to the book that kind of started this whole series for me. I didn't want to just read it and put it down, because that's what I feel like happens a lot. There's another book that I read that talks about this, how people who read self-help, self-confidence, self-betterment books tend to read them and then put them down and then forget everything they read and forget all the thoughts that they had and all the things that maybe they wrote inside as reminders to themselves. But for this series, of course, I wanted to really write down some things that inspired me, that provoked my way of thinking, maybe provoked me to consider something else, do other things. Let's see. And really, I just went chapter by chapter and wrote things down. She talks about in chapter 1, which is called No, how her journey started with her sister. And a statement that her sister made was, "You never say yes to anything." Does it sound like you? Because it sounds like me. It has sounded like me for years. I have been and struggled to not be stuck in my ways, stuck in my one way of thinking of how things should be done, how things should go, and anything that falls outside of that, which is kind of what she was doing, it was an immediate no. It was immediate shutdown. Absolutely not. That's not something I do. It's not something I've done. It's not something I see myself doing. Maybe you've heard yourself say some things like that. But I am picky about what I'll say yes to. Admission. I admit that. I gotta make my sandwich while I chit chat. I'm getting hungry. Here we got all the rest of the ingredients. Boom, bam. I tend to weigh the pros and cons of everything. And maybe you do too. Let me slide this over. Maybe you do too, with things that you're sure you would never do, could never do, you know, that kind of thing. I tend to weigh the pros and cons, yep. Chop a thought or a step or a consideration into tiny little pieces. If I'm considering something, I'll chop it into little pieces and dissect it into, you know, think about it in so many different ways. Well, this could happen. Well, that could happen. And maybe you do too. And then eventually I get tired of thinking about it, and then I'm like, yeah, we knew this was a no. We knew this was, we knew. Yeah, I don't know why we went through, okay, yeah, it's a no. Maybe you've had the same type of analytical thinking that kind of keeps you stunted or keeps you in one place. That can be good because it's you get used to what you like. You get in a comfort zone, if you will. But one thing that being laid off, I guess twice now, has brought me out of is my comfort zone, to be very honest. And substitute teaching kind of brings me out of my comfort zone because you never know what you're gonna experience sometimes in a day. Like when you sign up for one of the shifts, you really don't know. So I guess my life as it was is like, yeah, it was different. Because once I was in pharmacy and I was working for a retail pharmacy, I mean, I knew what was expected. Once I started working for an insurance company, I grew to know what was expected every day. If not the same, was quite similar, you know? So I got used to that, I guess, way of life. So I could easily stay in my comfort zone and say no to things that I might desire to really try. Laying this bacon down, I put the mayo, got my mayo, got the bacon. Now I put cheese. Sometimes I like to melt the cheese, the fake cheese. Yes. So I was noticing throughout my life, there has been so many times where I didn't finish things. I didn't follow through to really see if it was a definite no. There were times when I would dissect something up, say yeah, but it was a yeah to try it. Not really a yeah to like push through, make it happen, do it, follow through, if you will. Things, the creative things that I would like to try, I've never fully delved into them. I will admit it to you. I've dabbled. I would call it dabbling. What do they call that when you is it kersplunk in a cave? Do you go kersplunking? Somebody look that up. Look that up in the dictionary real quick. I believe it's called kersplunking, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But I've done those types of things, just kind of dabbled, but follow through, really going for something creatively. No, I mean, no, because in college, undergrad, I was like trying to do like creative writing, and then I was made to feel, I won't give names, but I was made to feel like, oh, creative writing, you're not going to be able to make money at that. So why would you go that route? We need to pick something, a major that is going to bring you coinages. And that's true. However, I then let that fire die, I think, within me. And I was just like, oh, okay, we got to choose a path that's like gonna give me like a stable, or what we think, because it didn't really turn out well. It turned out, but not down that path even. Like 2009, yeah, that was a big economic bubble burst. But we digress and we made it through, just as we are trying to now, again. But no. I've never fully given my all to creative Kristen. No, because it just feels, sometimes even doing this channel, it really feels silly. Like, it literally feels silly. It feels like I'm talking to myself, and I know I am, but I know I am, but I don't know. I enjoy this, like not being live. I don't think I could ever stream or meet people in person, but I don't know. I don't feel like this is the extrovert in me. Maybe it is, because I'm sharing so much rawness, sharing so much realness about myself. That's the part where it's like my introvert is pulling me back in, if you will. And I'm starting to feel like I might leave this on the back burner. I might just drop this whole project and never come back to it. And that's something that would be so me, because I don't follow through on creative things like this. This is creative for me. I'm creating content about myself and sharing it with the world, which is difficult for an introvert to do. But somehow the recording of it and uploading of it, and just while I want to, it's like I'm still like no, and like wanting to push it all back in. Yeah. So saying yes and deciding to work hard to make this creative project and others that I have that I want to do, saying yes to working hard to making those, to fulfilling those efforts, like doing the things, is a lot for me. It's quite a lot. My perfectionist anxiety, introverted self, yet creative self, wants to be like, girl, this is a waste of time. Just as I felt in undergrad being told creative writing was a waste of effort, waste of time, because you still gotta get a job. And it's like, yeah, but is that job gonna give me the happiness and fulfillment that I need? Because keep in mind, while I was working those jobs, I was buying books like this. Books that were telling me that I could do something else, that bring me joy, that I could open myself up. If you're not happy, which is her position in this book, if you're not happy, you gotta take the steps to bring that happiness about. Otherwise, you're gonna stay stuck in the same place. You're still gonna stay stuck in that unhappiness. No matter if you have the job, no matter if you have the recognition from people saying, oh, you're amazing, you've got this amazing job, you do this amazing thing, you still have to feel fulfilled, content, happy about life. When you wake up in the morning, are you happy, or are you just happy that you have a job, that you can pay your bills? Because that is a level of happiness. Yes, that is a level of happiness. It's an accomplishment for sure. Go you. But is it fulfilling? I don't know. You gotta answer that question for yourself, just as I did. If you get laid off one day and you have no idea, no clue, and no prospects, what would you do? Ask yourself that. That's a good question. Saying yes and deciding to work hard to make the goal a reality is what I've done. I've done in the past with other things, non-creatively. But it's also what I need to do now in this creative path that I've proclaimed for myself. So I finally want to say yes to Creative Kristen and allow her to do the things that a creative does. And that's really hard too. The introvert side of me kind of is repulsed by that, but she's getting over it. I feel her getting over it, because she's got to get over it and just do. If you're a writer, then you write. If you're a content creator, you create. So I'm trying to create and share. Not just create, but share. Yeah. And I'll leave you on that note with my sandwich. See my completed sandwich? A little bit of chips. I'm gonna get some apples. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to be healthy out here. Trying to keep my healthy efforts up. Apple. I need the chips just to give it a little crunch. And something else I've been doing to my apples lately, before I let you go, is putting a little cinnamon on them. I don't know why. It just tastes so good with just a little cinnamon. And I don't know what cinnamon is good for, but hey, it might, I mean, It might help with something. You know, like how turmeric is good for different. Is it good for inflammation? I gotta really. Somebody look that up. Somebody Google that real quick and put it in the comment. I just hope something I've said today has inspired somebody to try something new. Whoever's watching, if you're watching, I just hope whatever you're thinking of giving a try, that you'll really follow through and give it a try. Because even if you regret it, you won't regret it. You know what I mean? It might lead to your next best decision. Yeah. If you enjoyed my content for today, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more, because there will be more eventually. Bye.